If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And we are back here on Katz and Cosby, and some of these images coming out, especially of like a big U.S. resort town. A lot of Americans go there, Puerto Vallarta. I was looking at the Costco. Looks like it's on fire.
I remember the Love Boat used to go there.
Yeah, well, I think the Love Boat no longer will dock there after what we've seen.
Not much love in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, not much love. It's pretty scary with these warring cartels. Well, who better than former Deputy National Security Advisor, guys, KT McFarland. KT, how scary is it? Because, you know, the State Department put out this notice saying Americans shelter in place. They don't even want them to go to the airport because some of the airports are dealing with this rival gang stuff.
The reality is the Mexican government has really been run by the cartels for years, especially the previous president. Now, the current president, and she's had her disputes with President Trump over tariffs and other issues, but she's accepted American intelligence and American technology to help go after the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst. Head of one of the worst cartels was just killed by the Mexican military. So what you're seeing is the cartel responding, kicking back. Now, these cartels are not just the corner drug dealer. These are guys that really have their own little armies, and there are a number of them that are at war with each other over who controls which territory, which state of Mexico, who has ownership. But I think the issue that I look at is saying, okay, President Trump is really serious about the war on drugs and dealing with the cartels and the drugs that are coming into the United States. Fentanyl for sure, but in fact, other drugs. He started the war on drugs in Venezuela, going after the narco boats. He's now shown that he's willing to help out in Mexico. And so we'll see where this goes. It gets worse before it gets better. These cartels are not going to go quietly into the night. But the real question is who's going to have the heart and soul of our southern neighbor, Mexico? A close U.S.-Mexican relationship would be awesome for us, for the world. But a Mexico that is controlled by the gangs and the drug lords and the narco traffickers and the human smugglers is a pretty scary place.
Absolutely. You know, if this doesn't make a case for why you want to have sealed borders, why you want to vet people who come into this country, I don't know what does, KT.
Yeah, I mean, the point is that the cartels have controlled the borders. The Biden administration turned the control of the borders over to the cartels. And they brought in not just drugs, not just weapons, but they brought in millions of illegals. And that was big money for them. It's not big money for them anymore because President Trump has sealed the border. So, you know, is it going to be a full-fledged war on the cartels? Time will tell. But so far, the steps have been good, as much as we deplore the violence that we're seeing.
Judge Weinberg.
KT, good to talk to you. The concern seems to be that this may seep over the border, literally into our territory, into California. If that were to happen, what should the administration do?
I have no doubt that Donald Trump has the ability to stop the drug wars at the border. He sealed the border already. And whether, you know, I think you're right that there will be but this has already been happening where the different cartels are fighting with each other over who gets control of which city, which state. So what calls into question is that these cities and these states, which are saying, oh, no, we don't want any ICE here. We don't want any, we are sanctuary states. We are sanctuary cities. Really? Do you really want to have drug cartels fighting on your own streets, injuring your own people? And that becomes the question. I have no doubt that we can protect our border, but the question then becomes, what about the states and the cities, which seem to be favoring the rights of, you know, gangbangers and drug dealers more than they favor the rights of American citizens?
I am sure, KT, that if any harm comes to any American citizens, that President Trump will send in the Air Force and level every cartel facility that is known, and we'll know where they are. And don't forget what he did in Afghanistan. He took not the cartel leader, he took the Afghanistan leader and says, here's a picture of your home. Mm-hmm. Right? Remember that?
Yep.
And he says, your family is in there. And what did he say to that guy's family?
The Taliban.
The Taliban.
Yeah.
The Taliban leader. He said, we know where you live. We know where your family is. Here's a picture. And you kill one American, and you'll have hell to pay. You know, the thing, John, you and I know President Trump really well. And Rita, you know him too. He is fiercely protective of Americans. And if the cartels start going after Americans somehow as their idea of revenge against this killing of the drug lord, well, I think you're right. That's the reason that Donald Trump is president today, is because he sealed the border and he's protecting Americans. And it remains, as much as we've all kind of forgotten about how bad things were a couple of years ago, but the cartel violence that we're seeing in Mexico, where we never thought we would see it in open space in front of our eyes, burning Costco's, as you said. I think President Trump is very aware of how serious this issue could be if it is allowed to continue, and certainly if it tries to expand into the United States.
And KT, I said it before, in case you weren't listening, my recommendation to President Trump was, I have a dream, a drug-free America, and we can make that dream come true.
From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah, let's pray.
Thank you so much,
Let's
KT.
pray. KT, thank you. Great to have you on, honey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.